Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joyofbaking.com. Today we're going to make chocolate dipped coconut macaroons. I love how the outside of this cookie is really nice and crisp, yet inside they're soft and chewy. So to begin, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 180 degrees Celsius, and then you will need a baking sheet, and you can line that with a piece of parchment paper like I've done here, or you could just lightly butter the pan or spray it with one of those non-stick sprays. Now the great thing about coconut macaroons is we don't need an electric mixer. We're just going to mix the batter together in a large bowl using a wire whisk. And this coconut macaroon recipe is a little different than most. Most recipes seem to use egg whites, and then you have to warm the egg whites and then add the coconut and let the batter sit for a while. We're not going to do that. We're going to use just the whole egg, and we don't have to warm the eggs, and then we're just going to add the coconut and bake the cookies off right away. So, I mean, start to finish, you're going to have freshly baked cookies in under a half an hour. So the first thing we're going to do, so have a large bowl. You will need 2 large eggs and have those at room temperature. And then, like I said, you could use a hand mixer, but I'm just using a wire whisk. I'm just going to whisk the eggs to break them up and then to get a little air into them. Okay, easy enough there. And then I'm just going to add a pinch of salt, maybe like 1/8 of a teaspoon. And then I'm adding 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and try to use a pure because it's better flavor than the artificial ones. Now, if you would prefer, say, an almond flavored coconut macaroon, you could leave out the vanilla and add like maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon of pure almond extract. So then just whisk that in. And then, of course, we need to add some sugar. Now, for the amount of sugar you're going to add will depend on how much, whether you use sweetened dried coconut or unsweetened dried coconut. The difference between the two, you can see this is the just dried unsweetened. You can see it's quite white. And this is the sweetened dried coconut. And sweetened dried coconut is just coconut that has been dried and then mixed with powdered sugar. So if you were going to use the sweetened coconut, then I would add just 1/2 cup, 100 grams of granulated white sugar. If you preferred the unsweetened, then I would add 1 cup of sugar, 200 grams. Now, sweetened coconut you can usually find in any grocery store, and you can use either flaked or shredded. Unsweetened, although I just found this unsweetened coconut in my local grocery store. But if you can't find it there, you can find it in specialty food stores or else health food stores. So I think today I'm going to use the sweetened. So I'm going to add, like I said, 1/2 cup, 100 grams of the sugar. And just whisk that in. And then all that's left is we need 3 cups of the dried coconut. That's 720 milliliters. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter whether it's unsweetened or sweetened dried coconut. You're using the same amount, 3 cups. And then you really want to stir this to make sure that all the coconut is moistened. Now, one thing you might notice, the difference between the 2 types of coconut is when you bake the cookies. I find that the unsweetened, because there isn't any sugar in that, the cookies will become a little more crisp. And you may or may not notice that, but I seem to find that. So, okay, and we're done. I mean, is that not an easy cookie to make? So now we're just going to form them into rounds. I'm using just a small ice cream scoop. You want maybe a tablespoon, or you can just, use 2 spoons, or just take an actual tablespoon to form. And space them, a couple inches apart, 5 centimeters. Although they don't spread, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so some people like their coconut macaroons like a real haystack shape. If you do, then you can just kind of play with them and give them a little point. Now, like I said, at the end I will show you, once they've been baked and cooled, I will show you how to dip them in melted chocolate. But if you're pressed for time and you just don't want to bother with that, what you can do now is you can buy like baking chunks, or you could use, just regular chocolate chips. But now they have these little chunks. And what I do oftentimes is I just put a little chunk on the top there. So that way we still get that coconut chocolate thing, but we don't have to fuss with melting the chocolate and dipping them. So if you want to do that, that's an option. So now what we're going to do is bake them somewhere between, I would say 14 and 18 minutes, depending on your oven, until what you're looking for is them to be nice and golden brown. So somewhere between 14 and 18 minutes. Okay, our coconut macaroons are done. As you can see, they're a beautiful golden brown color. So now, I'm going to let these cool completely, and then I will show you how to dip the bottoms in melted chocolate. So now we'll dip our macaroons in melted chocolate. What I did here is I just did it in the microwave. You could do it in a heat-proof bowl over a saucepan of simmering water if you want. So what you will need in a heat-proof bowl is 4 ounces, that's 115 grams, of either a semi-sweet or a bittersweet chocolate, and coarsely chop that. And then I also added to that just like a half a teaspoon of either butter or a vegetable shortening. And the reason I add that is so that once the chocolate dries, it'll still be shiny. So just put those together, put them in the microwave, melt it until it's nice and smooth. And then all you need to do is take your macaroon and just dip it in chocolate as much as you want. And so it's like this. And then just have a parchment-lined baking sheet or wax paper or something, and just put it like that. And if you want to have it like a double dose of chocolate, which I often do, I even dip the ones that have the little chocolate piece on top, so you get lots of chocolate. So again, see, doesn't that look beautiful? And then, so just carry on, do all those. Then just put the baking sheet in the refrigerator, maybe 15, 30 minutes until the chocolate hardens, and then you can just peel them off, and they're done. They're really good the day they're made, because that way the outside is still nice and crisp. But you can cover and store them for several days, either at room temperature or in the refrigerator. But you will notice once they're stored that the outside softens, but I still think they're great. So until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com.